What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest patch that has come out for Battlefield 4. Along with that we're going to be talking about some Titanfall, but with that we're going to be talking as well about the Naval Strike DLC. The map names have come out, whether they're real or not we don't quite know yet, but they are pretty believable, so stay tuned for that. So the gameplay you're going to be watching is some MK11 mod gameplay. I tried this weapon due to the recent patch. Apparently they've buffed all of the DMRs, so instead of taking 4 bullets to kill at long range, it now only takes 3 shots to kill at long range, and I saw that a couple of times when using the MK11, and I also tried the SKS and the RFB in different matches, and I also saw it there as well, so that's definitely a good thing. The other thing with the DMRs is they've had their recoil reduced, so now they're going to be a lot easier to control, and I see a lot of people worrying that everyone will use the DMRs and they're going to be overpowered. From what I've seen, they aren't even overpowered. In fact, I'd wager to say they still aren't even that good, but at least they're now a little bit more viable. Along with the DMRs being buffed, we've seen a buff for the majority of the pistols, most notably the MP412 Rex and the 44 Magnum. So if you've used either of these pistols in Battlefield 4, you'll know that there's some sort of weird delay there, and apparently they've actually removed it. So after trying it and, you know, using these two weapons, I seen that the delay was gone, and now they're actually pretty freaking good. So if you play Battlefield 3, you will know that these two pistols were arguably the two best pistols in the game. If you knew how to use them right, if you hit your shots, these things could beat most assault rifles. I think that's how it should be when you have skill-based pistols, and I'm glad that they've put this into the game. Along with that, they've buffed a whole lot of other pistols as well. I would say most notably for me would be the M1911, because that is my sidearm of choice when going with my assault rifles. So they've actually increased the damage for a lot of those semi-automatic pistols, which I think is pretty interesting, because I personally thought myself that the pistols were pretty good already, and the fact that they've buffed them even more is pretty interesting. So I don't know what DICE was thinking there, but I can't really think against it. I can't really see any negatives that would be there for it. When someone uses the defensive field upgrade, it normally takes about 6 shots to kill when I'm using a pistol, so maybe they've just upped the damage a little bit just to make sure that it's still a 5-shot kill. If that's the actual case, I think that's definitely a good thing. Along with that, they've actually nerfed the MTAR. Don't worry, it's nothing too serious, but coming out of the patch notes, what they've said is they have reduced the damage for the MTAR at long range, which I guess you can understand. I mean, the MTAR, you know, it's a carbine, which means it's available for all kits, but it's as powerful or even better than most of the assault rifles, so you definitely want the assault rifles to be number 1, because that's what they specialize in, you know, infantry combat. But the fact that the MTAR is available for all kits and can dominate in everything was a bit ridiculous, so they've dropped the damage to the standard damage of the other carbines. Now, this doesn't say in the patch notes, but what I noticed personally was I felt like the MTAR was a little bit less accurate when aiming down sight. So the hipfire still feels the same when I was shooting, but I noticed when aiming down sights it wasn't quite as accurate in that medium to long range zone. It doesn't say that in the patch notes again, but I'd like to hear what you guys think. If you've tried the MTAR post-patch, tell me what you think, and I really do think that the recoil has been increased for it when you're aiming down sights, which again, that does suck, because I love the MTAR so much, and they're just like nerfing it into oblivion. As long as they don't touch my L85A2, I'll be happy, but yeah, that's pretty much that. That's pretty much most of the weapons that have been buffed and nerfed, and I don't know, I think it's a good thing, you know, that they're trying to still balance everything out, but I still think the main issue is the netcode and the rubber banding, and I think DICE has to do something about it soon, because, well, recently they've actually put out a thing called Player Appreciation Month. I think what they should do, if they appreciate us, is put out a patch that fixes the freaking connection. I would be happy with that, but with that being said, without getting to a whole rant about that, let's move on to the next piece of information. So there's been some information coming out about Naval Strike and the maps. Apparently the maps have been released or leaked or whatever you want to call it. It hasn't been confirmed, so let me just point that out, but I think they are pretty believable, and yeah, let's get right into it. The map names are Lost Islands, Nansha Strike, Wavebreaker, and Operation Mortar. So out of these names, I'd say the map names that are most believable would be Wavebreaker and Lost Islands. Also Nansha Strike, it sounds a bit like Nosha Canals, which I guess I could believe. Operation Mortar sounds more like a working name. Remember when Battlefield was in the alpha stage, and there was the Drone Strike DLC, but then it was later renamed to the China Rising DLC. It kind of sounds something like that. So the map names there, that's pretty much that. Tell me what you think about them in the comments section below. And lastly, Titanfall. So, Titanfall, the beta is being rumored to be coming out on February 14th, which is in a few weeks from now. And the reason I'm reporting this is because it seems very believable to me, seeing as Titanfall is coming out on March 13th, the actual full game. So that is 1 month before the game's release, which seems very believable, you know, viewing Battlefield 3's beta, Battlefield 4's, and other AAA titles. It seems very believable to me that they would have a beta and they would put it out 1 month before the full game's release. And if that's the case, we will see this game, we will be able to play this game in a few weeks. So I've been looking forward to Titanfall. I haven't covered it much on my channel, but I have been looking forward to it. Respawn Entertainment is behind this game, the guys who made Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and I personally enjoyed Call of Duty 4 a lot. It was a very simple game, and it was just fun, and that's what I'm expecting from Titanfall. I'm not expecting a game that I'll put 1,000 hours into. I just want a fun game to play. And while Battlefield 4 is sometimes frustrating due to the rubber banding and stuff, I can go into Titanfall and possibly have some fun. I think this beta will really make or break this game. People will try this game and expect it as a demo, not a beta. They did that with Battlefield 4 as well, you know, and any beta really from a AAA title, you're going to see a lot of new people coming in to try this game. You're going to get the Battlefield crowd and the Call of Duty crowd coming in to see this game. And just on that note, I think this game could get really big just because of the Battlefield fans and the Call of Duty fans are going to be playing this game to see if it's any good. So it is an arcade shooter, so don't expect some sort of, you know, skill-based super shooter, but what I will say about it is I think the game looks fun. The whole idea of having mechs and bots and, yeah, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of fun to me. We'll have to wait and see when the beta comes out, which I believe will be in a few weeks' time. So tell me what you think in the comments section below about the patch, Titanfall, and the Naval Strike names. So the map names, I think they're a little bit dodgy, but hey, who knows. But anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and peace.